welcome everyone who's joining. Just as I said previously, I will be giving a breakdown of UJ, essentially what's going on. I might give a moment or two to just speak on kind of what's happening in the global economic sphere with Putin just pretty much declaring war and invasion on Ukraine, and how you guys can see that's affecting the capital markets. And no doubt we'll probably see gold take a pump, because it makes sense. See gold with a 1.6% increase. So essentially what that is every time there's uncertainty, if I go and check oil as well, we'll probably see oil is increasing, US oil, because essentially what it is there you go. Essentially what happens is, it's super simple to understand. When there's conflict happening around the world, when there is global uncertainty, like right now with Russia, we see an outflow of capital from things like stocks, currencies, and cryptos, essentially everything that's speculative, and that capital then flows out of these assets and into these two here, US oil and XAU USD. The reason is because they're safer assets, essentially. They are safe asset classes, and that's why we're seeing the heavy dump off for currencies. It was already in the charts, as I'm kind of going to break down to you now. It was already easy to see what was happening just with structure, essentially. So there was no doubt about it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Any questions you may have, you can drop in the chat box below. I'm going to be breaking down UJ, as this is the pair that I do trade the most, and I'll give you guys kind of everything essentially top down, and I'll even give you the guys overview for this 30-hour trade and this 33-hour trade that missed me by 0.6 pips last night. And yeah guys, so let's get started. Starting on the 4-hour, as I pretty much always do. I just want to kind of map out what's happening on a macro perspective with order flow, as it is the most important aspect of trading. So as we can see, if we just follow the order flow, we'll see that price puts in a low here, takes out a high, puts in a low once again, and then fails to take this high, right? So we have a breaker structure here. This is a macro external structure. Order flow perspective will be very visible on the daily and above. So we see we have a breaker structure to the upside, price retraces back into a daily point of interest. If I just pop out to the daily real quick, you'll see we actually tap back out to the daily demand level that of course broke the structural high here. Just kind of confirming to us that we have continued bullish after we had this sweep of liquidity down here. So with that being said, you can see we tapped into the daily. Then we had essentially a 4-hour change of character when the supply that put in the most recent low was taken out. That is our change of character to the upside on the 4-hour, which is essentially indication that we have shifted momentum. And essentially, if we're going to go ahead and continue the order flow of the daily time frame, then we're going to expect this high right here to go, because it's just high, low, higher high, higher low, and essentially was expecting a higher high. So we had our change of character, and then as you can see, price comes back to mitigate our 4-hour demand level. Right here, there was some amazing trades taking place in here, because we had now realized that this high here has been weak, because this high right here had failed to take out this low, which makes it just a pool of liquidity and essentially a weak high, which of course we would expect to be ran. So then we had our breaker structure to the upside. This is now internal structure. As we of course understand how fractals work, it's essentially, well, when the daily is pulling back, the 4-hour will shift bearish. When the daily is going to put in its new leg, the 4-hour will shift from bearish back to bullish, and that's when you'll be able to get in on your high probability, high risk to reward trades. And so internal structure, now you can see we have a breaker structure, change of character, a mitigation of that level, and then a new leg to the upside. We pull back into what is once again daily demand, and then we take out the high. And so once we take out this high, at this point you're kind of expecting that this high right here will be taken out, but instead it creates relatively equal highs, which is of course, as we know, buy side liquidity, especially for these big banks and institutions and small hedge funds, etc., that are trading on these 4-hour timeframes, and retail traders themselves. Essentially what they're seeing is a double top, and so they're expecting that this is a piece of price that is has resistance around it that price doesn't want to take out. So now we have buy side liquidity to the upside, but equally we have sell side liquidity here with our 4-hour double bottom, and so we have liquidity on both sides of the extreme points, extreme swing points in the market. So as we put in this high, it is still an internal break of structure on the 4-hour time frame. So of course, a break of structure to the upside, and the swing low that essentially put that high in is of course here. If we're just taking it in terms of high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So that's one possible scenario. With that being one possible scenario, we can see that as we put in the new high and the equal lows here, after a break of structure, we obviously usually see a retracement phase that gives us a 4-hour change of character to the downside right here, change of character down, and then we're seeing some incredible shorts. For those of you guys who are in the premium community, we had some really nice shorts out of this level, some high risk to reward shorts. So price comes back, mitigates supply, and then once again takes out these equal lows right here, which was also a reason for price to go down, which is where we targeted for our shorts, because we're just playing the higher time frame order flow on the lower time frame entries. So all of a sudden your 2-pip stop losses, as long as you're getting them in the right area, they are actually heading out for 1 to 50s and 1 to 60s, with of course partials for the most part being taken out at around, you know, anywhere between kind of 7 and 20 R is where we take our 80% of our position, and we let the rest run in alignment with the higher time frames. So as you can see, we have our break of structure when this happens, and we expected that because these lows right here failed to break this high, and so we expected, okay, well, once we got into this demand level, we had our 15-minute shift of order flow, and now we're expecting, okay, these lows are going to be run. So these lows essentially get run, break of structure to the downside. We're expecting a pullback after this, and so I usually go with, if you just take the high and the low, essentially 50% of the leg from the high to the low to be mitigated in and around that 50% level. That can complete its pullback phase. It doesn't have to come all the way into any specific supply area like the origin right here. Around 50% of the leg can be its pullback, and then essentially price can go in and put in a new leg. And that's exactly what we did. We put in a new break of structure to the downside, and essentially once we put this break of structure in, and this low right here failed to come into our 4-hour demand level, which I'll just go ahead and mark out here. This 4-hour demand level is important. Why? Because essentially when price was shifting back down and pulling back for its 4-hour pullback to put in a new leg up, this is the 4-hour demand level which actually had our first momentum shift and our change of character to the upside. And so this is a relevantly important 4-hour demand level, which I was expecting probably we'll see. And then price can do, of course, always one of two things. If this level holds and we have a change of character, I'm expecting these highs up here to be ran as liquidity. But with everything going on in the kind of global economic sphere right now, and currencies, we're seeing a decline. We don't know how it's going to play out, so it could just be literally this, and then if this low here gets taken out, then we've seen a really big shift from overall UJ from bullish to bearish. And then of course we can see these equal lows right down here that will probably be swept, and so we can be looking for some heavy major shorts. So there's the two scenarios. As you can see right now, we're reacting to this 4-hour demand level, which I kind of expected us to happen. I need to see a complete shift in order flow before I can determine essentially what's going to play out. But just want to break that down for you. So macro perspective, we are bullish until this swing low gets taken. We've created equal lows here for the higher time frames, real nice liquidity inducement right here. Here's the low that put in the new high. So this is right now a protected low. If this low goes, UJ completely flips itself on its head and we shift to complete bearish order flow on the higher time frames. If this demand level holds and we have a 4-hour change of character, I'm definitely expecting these highs right here to be taken out. So there's our two perspectives. And now let's get down into how I took these shorts right here. Just something interesting to break down in the 4 hour to as why I did take these shorts. So we can see that right here is our high that put in the break of structure, right? Price comes up and then takes out this new break of structure. And so just structurally, we're expecting a pullback. And if this high doesn't get broken and we have our 15-minute change of character inside of whatever it is inside of here, then we know that this low has failed and is going to be taken out as liquidity, and that was our take profit level. And just below that liquidity level, we have a 4 hour POI. So it was a very nice level to take that. And so as I just go down to the 15-minute now and break it down into a deeper perspective, here's what we'll see, right? So here's the high that put in their low. Once again, the same thing, just order flow on the higher time frame. You can see we've come up to mitigate, you know, whatever we've come up to mitigate. Excuse me, let me actually remove that. So we've come up to react to whatever it is that we're mitigating. Here's some demand here. As you can see, we pretty much react to it, just probably spiking above it or maybe reacting to it to perfection. So it is a reaction level. As we can then see, what has UJ done? It's come to the high, it's failed to put in a new high, it's given us our 15-minute change of character. The demand that puts in the high gets broken, therefore we have our change of character to the upside. Here's our supply level inside of that change of character. Then we have our pullback. We have a lot of range and liquidity inside this zone, which would have caught a lot of traders out. In moments like this, it's best to just stay out of the market and wait for the market to show you what it wants to do. So we built nice sell side liquidity. We had a nice move out of here, pull back into demand, push up, failed to create the high, inducement as we take out the liquidity. Now we've induced our sellers into the market, so now we have the resting liquidity for the stop losses in and around this area, which is very ideal for us because we have our POI just above. So as this induces the liquidity, taking out the buyers, inducing the sellers, then the sellers get taken out with this sweep into our POI, which for us is exactly perfect. So then just down to the 1 minute, because we have our 15-minute POI that caused a change of character. Now we're going to head down to the 1 minute time frame and look for our reversal. And so where are we? Let's go back to 15 minute. Where's our POI? Okay, our POI is here. So let's just go back. This is the trade yesterday that I missed by pretty much nothing. So we tap into our POI, and now here's our demand level right here that caused the most recent high to be put in. Here's our change of character to the downside, super simple. Here is our 1 minute supply level, in this case over refined because it probably came back into a 5 minute or a 3 minute, but essentially this is my strategy. I take the wins and the losses, the missed and the tags, just how the game goes. As you can see, we come up, where was our entry? Our entry is here. Not sure why. Our entry is of course the origin, 2.3 pips. Oh, that's why. 2 pips is what I usually go with. So as you can see, we come, what's that? 0.8 pips away, and then we run to our first take profit level, which was this week low, this low right here. Just again, fractal order flow. It's all about the order flow, the flow of orders. This high puts in this low, this low then puts in this high, failing to break this high, so this low is weak. And so here's our first take profit level for 1 to 13, and then of course we have the overall swing low, which is right here, that failed to take out this high right here. So as you can see, again, just playing the order flow, high to low, failing to take out that high, giving our change of character on the 15 minutes. So this is a weak low, and that essentially was our second take profit level, and we just missed that out by 0.8 pips for 31R. So there was that trade, and that was just a trade missed, and that kind of just is what it is type of thing. You know, you win some, you lose some. It's part of the game. I wasn't done yet though. This is actually this morning as I came in for the Asia session. We can see that the order flow is bearish. we can see that we've had a sweep in here and then a further change of character, and inside of here we have demand. We have the high that's caused the change of character right here. So if we just come into this area and fail to have a sweep of this high, and we have our 1 minute change of character, then essentially we're good to go. So if I come in here, what we'll see is, here's the highest point right here. Here was our first change of character, which for me, I wasn't in the market. I would have ended up taking a loss though, because my strategy would have been, where did the change of character come from? It came from here. I would have had my stop just above here, and I would have taken a loss, but no problem. We failed to break the high. And then what do? We have another, here's the demand level right here that puts in the high. Once that gets broken, which it does right here, we have our change of character. Now, where did that change of character come from? For me personally, it comes from this inside bar level here. And so that's where my order was. And yeah, as you can see, we tag in and we get a very nice reaction. And then just again, playing the order flow for my first take profit, we can see that this high puts in this low puts in this high, fails to break the high. So this is a weak low. So that's my first take profit level, because I'm expecting the order flow to just remain. And my first take profit level is a 1 to 11, with of course this second take profit level the same as this one as before, 1 to 27. And now as we approach into our 4 hour demand level that I'm kind of expecting a reaction from, we can see that we have had a, let's see, here's the low. Yeah, so we have had a change of character, which is of course expected, but it also just could be a pullback. So this is why I need to see extra confirmation. So we've had a change of character to the upside. What I now need to go ahead and see is a mitigation and then a flip, and I'll be able to take longs out of this level. And then we'll see how it plays out. I'll probably have my first take profit level up here, and then if that gets broken, we're definitely heading all the way up to this level here, because this is where the huge liquidity is. On the contrary, if all of this fails and this low gets ran, then I'm expecting these lows in here to be ran, because as you can see, once again, always order flow perspective, see this high puts in a low, this low fails to break the high, and so this could be a weak low if this low fails, because if this low fails, because as you can see, internal structure, high to low, low to high, high to low, low to high. So this is the low that put in the new high. If this gets broken, there's a huge momentum shift to the downside with a pullback and then taking out these equal lows. In other words, that's all there is to it. And for the VIP members, do you guys have any questions regarding what's coming up for the London session? So just to break it down to you, we can see we're reacting from the 4 hour demand that I spoke about in the last session, the 4 hour demand that the 4 hour demand level that put in the high. Let's go to it once more. Reacting now to the 4 hour demand level. Oh, wrong one. Reacting now to the 4 hour demand level that put in the new high. So now we're just seeing a lower high and then hopefully a higher high once again. In regards to that, any questions, you can let me know in the comment section below, and I'll go ahead and unmute you. I'll take questions for a couple of minutes, and then I'll be off to go and trade, even though I'm trading right now and there's nothing really here for me. Just an explosive move, which we're expecting. If we see a break of structure here, then we've definitely had a momentum shift. Just as I did say though, this is the 4 hour level. I've been calling this for literally since it was put out there, probably like a week or a couple of weeks ago. We was expecting this level to hold, and it is now. Do I use the H1? I use the H1 sometimes, just if I need refinement of order flow or supply and demand. So sometimes yes, but for the most part no. I like to keep it super simple. I like to keep it 4 hour, 15 minute, 1 minute. But sometimes yes, I'll use the in-betweens. If the 15 minute isn't clear, I'll use the 10 or the 7. If the 1 minute isn't clear, I'll use the 2 or the 3 or the 30 second. If the 4 hour isn't clear, I will use the 1 or 2 hour. But that's just if it's not super clear. Just use those for that reason. But for the most part, yeah. If the break of structure on the 15 minute happens, where will your POI be? If the break of structure on the 15 minute happens, my POI will be the demand level that caused that break of structure. So simply put, my POI will be here, right? Can you tell me about gold analysis in the war times? Gold will go up, otherwise it have resistance. So I don't do support and resistance, to be honest. And essentially, gold for the most part, we're already seeing it. It's up 1.6% today. If I go to a weekly time frame, because I'm only interested in gold on the macro perspective, you can very clearly see that we've had weekly change of character, and now we're just playing out the order flow. From a weekly perspective, let's just say, for example, here is the low that put in this high. This low has been respected, not taken out, but we do have nice liquidity in here. So this is probably a weak high, and so we can see this get ran, especially with the news right now that's happening. This is why gold is increasing, is because people are moving out of these assets right here and these assets right here into these two assets because they are safer. Always proven themselves through time. In times like this is exactly what happens. And so if you study history, you understand. It's super easy to see. Hope that answers your question. Any other questions, guys? Do let me know. Do feel free. Do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, I do. The YouTube channel is called Alchemy Finance, I believe. There's more coming for the YouTube channel in the future. We will be releasing podcasts. I will be doing weekly crypto outlooks because, as you guys can see, I've actually been calling the Ethereum crash since super simple. It's just about structure. I've been calling the Ethereum crash here. The premium community people know exactly what I've called it and why. Just an order flow thing. This is the high that put in the swing low. The swing low failed to take out the swing high, and so now the swing low is going to be ran. And I've been calling that since literally here. All the proof is in my community, and so I've already called a 28% decline, and I am calling a 32% decline. What session is ideal for UJ? Either Asia or London. I've never traded EU, so I mean New York, so I can't tell you guys. On a 1 minute, can you show us an example of which low you would need to take to consider chart? Sometimes I feel like these aggressive lows give a ton of false signals. Let's take a look. M1. How I define a change of character is simple, right? It's the demand that put in the high. Once the demand that put in the high goes, that is your change of character. And so in this case, I would have taken a short without a doubt from this level. Stops probably just above the high, 2 pip stop just above the high, and I would have got taken out. And for any of you guys seen the message that I've put in, this is how trading goes. There's a percentage of the time your edge plays out, and there's a percentage of time that it doesn't. It's simple. You're not going to get every trade right, but if I can take one loss and then get into a 30-hour trade, I can be wrong once and right once and be net positive 27 times return on investment. I think that's pretty good statistics. There's not many people in the whole entire world that have those returns. Please speak a little about your premium. What does it offer? Premium community, very, very valuable. Very valuable. The most valuable product I have personally ever created in my lifetime. It's an A to Z, step-by-step course, professionally designed, not like anything else in the industry. Very professionally designed. We've purposely made it compact as possible. We go through every component, structure, supply and demand, order flow, weak highs, weak lows, internal, external structure, liquidity, supply, demand, what zones are correct. And then we essentially partner everything together. In episodes 6 and 7, we give the complete strategy from A to Z. How to look at the markets, how to get into a trade, what POIs to mark up, everything. And so yeah, everything is inside that premium. Plus we have a premium community. I go live multiple times a week and do exactly what we've just done here. This is a one-off for the 3 community because I do like to offer value to them also. This is a one-off, I don't do this often, but pretty much almost every day for the premium community. Plus weekly webinars. Every Sunday I go live with the community, whether it be crypto or FX. I give breakdowns of the markets. I love what I do, so for me it's fun. We have a very, very important psychology section of the course. It's called the internal compass, and anyone who's gone through the internal compass has said it has completely changed their life, and it has changed the way that they see this world, literally. And there isn't a single community or course out there that has that element of psychology and mindset in it, and that's what differentiates us from the rest, plus my incredible trading skills. The internal compass was amazing. Yeah, bro, it was incredible. Like, it changed my life. My business partner, he's a psychology specialist, especially in the financial markets. He's not a trader, he's specifically a, like, you know, mindset, psychology, spiritual mentor. He's an incredible guy, Adam Newton. So yeah, you get all of those things inside the community, plus of course the premium community, which I'm always active in. We have incredible mentors inside of the community that are always offering help. We've only been launched for 2 weeks now, and we've already seen successful students already. It's incredible. I haven't seen anything like it. I've been in multiple communities, and I personally by far know that we're the best. FTMO, yes. Yeah, FTMO are really reliable. So is my Forex funds, who I'm using at the moment. Mind sharing us your thought process with this trade execution of this UJ trade. I've already just been through that, all of it. If you want about this short, this long right here, there's no trade opportunity for me yet. So just sitting out. So thank you guys for joining. Anyone who is new here, we do have a free channel also. We have 1,000+ members, and we are active in there every day. You can just go ahead and hit me up on any social medias. My Instagram handle is this. You'll find all the details over there on Instagram. My views on crypto. I've been heavily bearish on Bitcoin since 67,000. I put it on my Twitter, on my Instagram, that I was bearish. Everybody called me an idiot. Everybody said I was stupid. Everybody said I didn't know what I was talking about. I seen a very clear daily change of character that just showed me the top is in. We're very heavily overextended to the upside. All the banks and institutions that are in these markets, they've already made their money. Now it's time to offload their positions to the retail traders so that they can get out of the market, and that's why we're seeing this heavily supported decline. That's my opinion. Will I buy back? Absolutely. I believe in crypto. I'm super bullish on crypto. I'm super bullish on the blockchain, DeFi, NFTs. We will be bringing out our own NFT project in the near future. That's something definitely to look out for. That's going to be incredible. It's going to be everything, basically financial services. Yeah, DeFi, Web3, NFTs, blockchain, like I'm with it all. It's the new age of finance. The quantum financial system that we're heading into right now as well. It's another big thing. So guys, I'm going to head out. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Hope you guys have an amazing trading session. I wish you guys nothing but love and luck. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys smash it. I appreciate you all, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thank you.